Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I'm going to be talking about Deceit and some of the issues I think in the game and how I would solve them, in my opinion, and then you guys can let me know what you think. I did a poll on this and everyone wanted to see this, so I hope my opinions aren't bad. So yeah, we'll see. So I know a big one everyone's talking about is the Phantom / Jester Roll. So as it works right now is when he gets voted out, he is immediately respawning as the Menace, and he gets walls on everyone, and then he can hear you where you are through the walls. Then infinite ammo one-shot pistol is quite a lot. So there's two ways to go about this. So in terms of balancing it, number one, the Warden Mark should counter it altogether. And so when he's marked by the Warden and he gets voted out, he just loses. So he needs to not get marked by the Warden. So if you're really sure he's Jester rather than infected, and you have a Warden on your team, they could mark them. So there's something that to be considered. And then my other idea, which came from one of my friends, is kind of adding a new system into the game that embeds into the system that we have right now, where you can accuse people essentially. Your suspicion will, when you hold tab or Q. I don't know what it is in controller, I'm sorry, but the will you bring up, and you can say, I think someone's innocent, sus, cursed. And it's if too many people, so it's imagine the amount of votes required is the amount needed for this event to trigger. If that amount of people mark that person as cursed before they're voted out, the Jester will not win. But if they vote someone as cursed and then vote them out anyway, then the Jester entity wins. So say, for example, you vote uninfected, but you've all marked him as cursed, all of you. Then the Jester will immediately just die and respawn as the Menace because you voted out an incorrect Jester, assuming they were Jester, if that kind of makes sense. And then this system can also apply to infected in some way, where if you mark someone as infected, too many infected marks, then they will just lose terror sense. That's it. I don't want infected to be too weak, just you lose terror sense. But as innocent, if an innocent gets marked too much infected, to stop you just marking everyone as infected, that innocent can no longer regain sanity. So as an innocent, you really don't want this to happen to you, because it would just be, death. Because you can't regain sanity. Sanity 7 would obviously bypass this, but you couldn't regain it by doing tasks or the passive sanity regain. So you just need to not get sus as innocent, and if you get framed, then that's really good for infected. It'll be a free kill later on, or they get you voted. So I think this issue would solve the whole Jester problem being too bad as it is, and I think it's just a good way to embed the suspicion system into a more integral part of the game, which I think is cool. There could be a benefit for someone if they get voted innocent loads, but then everyone would just get marked innocent at the start of the game and everyone would get that benefit, since the majority people would benefit from it. So I guess that would have to be looked into deeper, but for now I think just stick to those two. I think it'll be good, and marking someone too much as curse on the other roles could do something, but I was mainly looking at Jester with this one, so maybe it could do something to other ones, but we'll have to see. So yeah, my other idea was to completely just rework Jester in the idea I had for him, which was when you get voted out, everyone who votes you gets marked. I guess you could call it the Menace Mark in this case. So you get marked by the Menace in this case. So you're still dead as the Jester and you'll be spectating, but anyone who voted you, you can see when you're spectating will have this mark next to their name. And then you can take over control of them. You'll be able to speak in their body, control their movements. They can also still speak, so they can yell, I'm being controlled. But obviously you could fake this, so it makes it funny for framing. You control them for 15 seconds and has an 80-second cooldown. While you're controlling them, you cannot use their items, so you cannot waste their stuff. So you cannot waste their gun, their camera flashes, anything like that. You can punch though, so you could try downing someone to punch, but obviously, and they're going to be yelling, oh, he's making me punch, so people might think it's frame. You cannot use any special powers, so you cannot use the Guardian's Mark, you cannot use the Infected's Mutations, anything like that. Yeah, so you can speak and they can speak. And then the final thing that I think will make it very interesting is you can activate weak points while controlling someone. But if the person you're controlling is not infected, it doesn't benefit the infected when you animate this weak point. So they don't get the mutation on it, and they don't get like the time increase at night, and they don't get the night to come faster. You just activate a weak point so it looks suspicious. So an infected could claim, I'm being controlled by him, and then activate it, the weak point, and then everyone would be like, oh, the Jester made him do that. And they wouldn't know if infected actually benefit from it. If the Inquisitor were to walk up to it, they would see the mutation got taken, but obviously infected know they don't have it. So the Inquisitor wouldn't just full counter this. Maybe that could change, but I still think even in this case, the Warden marking should be the counter. Warden shouldn't get controlled. So guys, one thing I thought to finish the video that I wanted to add in here, that you'll see in the screenshot, is a different idea for Jester. Just want to put it out there, just again, get more feedback is always good. So, is the idea upon being voted out, you'll spectate one of the people who voted you. Then somewhere between 10 and 3 seconds, it's random, so people are like, ooh, did the Jester get voted? Then you'll revive in their place. So they'll die, you'll respawn, and you'll be whatever role they are. So they're infected, you'd replace them as infected. So obviously this wouldn't add another infected, it will just swap who's the infected. Obviously people won't know what you've become. So, you'd eliminate one player and add yourself back in. So you're not dead, and one of your voters are. You can even make a system where you can pick, like, everyone votes you. Before you start spectating, you see a list of all their faces for like 5 seconds, so you have time to pick, and then when you pick, it will swap you. So you can't just go around and spectate everyone for those 10 seconds. You'll just see the person you're going to replace. So I think that will be interesting, and as is mentioned here, you'd still win, because you'd win for being voted out, but then you'd get like a double win, so you get like double XP if you won as your new team as well. I think that's about a rework for the Phantom in my opinion, but I don't think they'll fully rework it. So I think the first option with the suspicion system is good. So credit to the person who gave me that. And then we talked about it together, and I think what we came to there was pretty good overall. Because we don't want infected to be too nerfed by it. Jester gets kind of counter, but he has a free win con if you mount the wrong person. So he could win without even being framed. If he can frame someone else's Jester, which I think is an interesting play. I think that'd be very fun. For the Terror, so the Monkey Terror, I think it's like, I don't think he needs to be changed too much from where he is right now. Like, I know he's somewhat frustrating, but I know he got changed recently, and I haven't got to experiment with that. As you already know, I don't play Deceit 2 loads anymore. But, with it, so I know he got like a base speed increase, and then a maximum speed, I think, reduction. So the gap's closer. While he's in, like, Go Bananas mode, I think it should be you, like, aren't just fully immune to stuns. So when you get stunned as the monkey in Go Bananas mode, you have a brief period where you can be stunned. So you're immune to one stun, and then like 5 seconds later you'll be immune again or something like that. Maybe a bit longer than that, but we'll have to see. I can't remember how long Go Bananas is. I think it's 10 seconds. So it could be like you're immune to one stun for a short period of time, then your immunity comes back. He'll be able to see this. He'll see a meter fill up that says like, oh, your immunity's coming back. So when you grab someone, even if someone's trying to save, you're immune to the one stun. So you need 2 things to do that, which I think is good. So you could place 2 traps, and then he'd get stunned still. But like, there's 2 traps, you know? You burn for resources very quickly. And if he kills someone, I think he should lose Go Bananas instantly. Even if you don't make that change. And he's infinite stun still. He needs to lose Go Bananas when killing someone. Because as it is right now, you save out all your bananas during the end game. You go bananas, and then you can just kill everyone, literally stun immune. So you need to lose bananas when killing someone, because in normal gameplay this doesn't matter. It's only in the end game that changes anything. Because he can still kill people, especially with his small speed increase now. I hope so, anyway. So I think it's like a small change to that. I don't want to change him too much because I don't want to like just kill the Terror. But I think that's a small change. They can give them something else if they want to, like make it so, I don't know, more banana spawning compensation. But I think being able to do something against him and Go Bananas rather than just having to directly run away and need an adrenaline serum, adrenaline syringe, would be very nice. The next thing, I think new mutations should come to the game. It was talked about in the Ask Me Anything, because I watched a YouTube video recapping it. I can't remember too much what they said, but I know they were talking about them a bit. And I want to go over my ideas for the mutations. I'll have it on screen here, so you guys can also just read them as I do. or if you're just listening, that works too. But yeah, mutations will be divided up into 2 categories. I guess we can make it 3 if we need to, but I think 2 is simple. You have high power and you have medium power. So high power ones would be example like turbulence. But I do think turbulence would be an exception to all of these, where turbulence would be like power level 0. So turbulence will always be here, regardless of what I'm about to say. So turbulence is like a must-have mutation. Then the rest of your mutation slots will fill up. So I think it's 8 mutations. I guess we can change how many are on there, but say 8 mutations. You've got turbulence, then you've got 3 more high power ones and 4 more mid power ones. And if it's 9, you have 4 high power, 4 mid power, you know, and then turbulence. So that's how these mutations can be divided up. We can divide up the old mutations based on their power level, which I think I did before, but I'll have to go back over that. But we'll go over the new mutations first. So the first one I think they should add is to be a high power, and it'd be called Drained. So you guess someone's roll, and if you guess correctly, they become just human, basic innocent. And if you guess incorrectly, you just lose your mutation, so you can't keep guessing. So I think that's fine. It counts as a bit of like, I want to claim, because it would still confirm you likely innocent. When more innocent rolls get added, obviously infected will be able to claim easier. But even if they claim, you could drain the mark. So say you're warden marked, and the warden outed who he was, you could drain him, and then the mark will go away. Obviously everyone will know you're infected, but you wouldn't be marked. So we go to Guardian, same thing. If someone's protected, the protected will also instantly go away. Inquisitor loses power, Seer loses power, etc. So I think it's pretty simple. You can't guess curses. This is purely to counter innocence. So I think that'd be pretty good. The next one's called Halt. Block all non-infected rolls for 30 seconds. So curse, like the lover couldn't pick someone, the mimic couldn't pick someone. If the timer's run out for either of those 2 rolls, it would also pick still. The Inquisitor can't use his ability, Warden can't mark, Guardian can't protect, Seer can't like Seer. So all of that just for 30 seconds. So I think it's a high power thing. I think it's pretty good. Next one's a mid power. It's called Closed. The peddlers are closed for 30 seconds, so no one can access the shop. Again, that's not too powerful, but I think it could be interesting if like a new item spawns in and you think everyone's about to heat visions to like start following you. You close the shop, it gives you 30 seconds to run around when you know you're safe from that. I think that's pretty good. This one was debatable between me and some other people whether this is mid or high power, so let me know in your opinion, but I said it was mid power. So you can add 30 seconds to the night, but during those extra 30 seconds, all the passives are stunned. So Ives, Wolves, you couldn't use those. They will get known. I don't think the vampire have any of that, and I guess in the monkey's case, his bananas would stop spawning. But I guess that's something to debate, because this was made back before the vampire even existed. But yeah, always get stunned. And as soon as you use it, your teammate will get informed Protracted's going to start at the end of the night. And as soon as the night ends, every innocent will say Protractive activated, all things stunned. Wait, run 30 seconds. So every innocent will know once the normal night would have ended, so they know the 30 seconds have started, but your teammate knows immediately that it's going to happen, so they can prepare for this. So I think that's pretty good. Another mid-power one is called Confirm. It requires 1 more vote to be banished for 45 seconds, and this doesn't work during Showdown. So if you needed 2 votes to be banished, this would make it 3. You needed 6 votes to be banished, this would make it 7. It's only for 45 seconds. So I think that could be pretty interesting to try and save your teammate, or try and like frame someone, be like, oh, they're using it to protect him. And I think again, mid-tier mutation could be fun. A rework for disruption. The generator can be broken once by hand and once by the mutation. You know, this is simple. This should have come a while ago. It's good, like, to slow down the game a bit more. Generator being broken isn't that strong, other than on the new map. I think it's quite strong. But yeah, a rework for Earthquake. I didn't know if this was mid-tier or high power, but it drains 25 sanity and 25 health of all nearby non-infected, and they get a little bit of screen shake just to know this happened, including the infected. The infected will get the screen shake as well, so they don't get like a huge aim advantage. They just get the 1 extra, you know, damage advantage. It can still break the walls and stuff. I think that's fine. Break the cameras, break the walls nearby. So it could depend on its power level. Another mid-tier mutation. Unarmed. Pistols don't work for 15 seconds. So I think that's pretty simple. You know, you can run kind of 15 seconds. People can still punch you, try to cut you off. Infected won't be able to use their guns during this either. That one was debatable whether that was good or not. Mirrors. Players will all look like, so you'll pick someone, and everyone will look like that person, but you'll still have your own username above your head. So you'll be able to know who it is by the username, and it will say, like, you know, Hands, then Ghost Meg above my head. But if obviously a mask, it would say the username of whoever I masked into above my head. So this could be good in combination with a mask. And this was a high tier mutation. Just because, like, at far away ranges, it's hard to tell who's who. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. Next one I think would be really fun. It's a mid-tier mutation though. It's called Bait. 3 weak points will just appear as active for 30 seconds. And they can't actually be activated during this, so you can't do them while they're already active. So they'll appear as active, they'll go the red glowy stuff, then they'll go back to, like, you know, not active after 30 seconds. And then you can actually activate them again. Which I think is interesting. Then the next one is mid-tier mutation, wrong turn. All portals are mixed up 30 seconds. So the portal exits are all randomized. It is not like random every time you teleport through it. It'll be like a set random per se. So if you go through one portal and you follow someone through, you and them will end up at the same exit. But next time you use that mutation, it might not be there, if that makes sense. So if you both go through, like, basement of what's it called, the first map, the one with the lift. You go through the basement there, that portal, and you appear right by the incinerator. Because of that, you both just end up there when you go through it. The next game, you could end up, I'm trying to think where all the portals are now. You end up in bathroom instead of, or you end up in showers instead of bathroom. It's like, I think it could be interesting. I don't think the idea of fully disabling portals was a good idea. I know Hole suggested that a lot, but I personally wasn't, like, the hugest fan of it. But yeah, that was my idea for the mutations. And then there's a few more innocent roles I think could come to the game that I think would be pretty cool. Like, one I had was the Alterist. After the second day, you can pick a target, and based on the role of this person, they will gain, like, a buff. And so, like, innocent, maybe just gain back more sanity by doing tasks or whatnot. The Guardian, after someone's saved, they have 50 sanity rather than 0. The Warden Mark, the player will be outlined to the Warden, so you'll be able to see them through walls. Inquisitor gets, like, a shorter cooldown. The Seer, like, they can't see, they see the animation of you putting your hands out, but they don't see the blue bubble. And just a few things like that. So I think they're pretty good. And then Infected would, like, alters would just be more amplified when you buff Infected. So in between would come faster and last longer. Every time that Infected, you know, does an alter. The Mimic can see the roll like the first 2 people dead, so he would know what he's stealing. And you could even, if you think that's too strong, you could just have it say, like, special, non-special. So it either says, like, human or non-human. So you just know anything other than a human. The Chemist would get, like, short cooldown, things like that. So I think that'd be pretty interesting. I have one called the Echo. You get to pick a dead person at the beginning of each day, and you get their ability. So if they were a human, you gain more sanity back per task. If you pick the Guardian, you get to choose someone to save, and you can choose someone who's been saved before. The Warden, you get to choose someone to mark, but that mark would go away after the night, so you have to kind of get them in that day. Inquisitor, you get the Inquisitor ability for the day, and Seer, you get Seer ability for that night. So pretty simple, but if you pick an Infected, or the Curse, you instantly lose your ability, so you go back to being a basic human. So it doesn't just confirm, it will confirm they're infected, whoever died, but now you be a basic human. So it's kind of like risk reward there. And I think those are, like, the main 2 I think I would want to see come. I think they're pretty simple, and pretty nice for the game. Nothing too much. I guess a few other things I wanted to talk about. Let me just find them here. Okay, I guess we have another Cursed here. I think would be a relatively good idea. I call it the Reaper. So at each night, you'll pick a player. The same player can be targeted more than once. Then if that player dies by any means in the day or night you pick them, you gain a soul. So for example, if I pick Lisa and she dies to the terror that night, I'll gain a soul. Or if I pick Lisa and then I can frame her in the day, she gets voted out, then I will gain a soul. And each night I can pick someone new. And I can pick the same person twice. Once you've gained 4 souls, you become deaf. And as soon as you gain that 4 souls, you just instantly become deaf. As soon as you become deaf, you'll go invisible and be able to move faster for 10 seconds. So you'll be invisible and move really fast for 10 seconds. But you cannot interact or take damage during this time. So it just gives you a chance to like run away and get ready. And other players will see, oh, death has spawned, everyone be careful. When death arrives, I think this is a reference to Deceit 1 players, so I think this would be kind of cool. He spawns in with 200 HP, so armor, and a shotgun. So shotgun armor from Deceit 1, which I think would be pretty funny. Then anyone gets down to death, will instantly be eliminated. So everyone will know he's become deaf. Death will see the outline of all players, but all players will see Death's location like every 5 seconds. So they'll see like a ping as if you like, you know, mouse freed on them. Infected will not have terror sense on him. Heat vision goggles will work, and night cannot come, and key cannot be taken when Death is there. So when the Reaper's there, you can do all this, but as soon as Death spawns, the game kind of ceases, and you're all against this Death. Kind of like how you're all against the... what's his name? Phantom. Menace. So yeah, I think that would be pretty fun. And I guess one more idea to throw out there, just for the fun of it. An idea for the Mimic, if they wanted to rework that, is you have to guess the role of each person who's dead, whether they were human, guardian, infected or whatnot. And as soon as you guess correctly, you steal that role. So you can guess as soon as one person's died now with that. And you can guess the same person multiple times, but you can do once per day. So if you want to wait for a better role, because you know they were human who died, you could wait. And then you have to guess what they are. So I think it make it a bit easier than just simply you know, having it, but it could be, maybe they want it to be a simple role. But yeah, I thought that'd be an interesting idea. So something else I want to mention, this is going to sound slightly odd because I'm recording this at a different time because I remembered I wanted to talk about this, but I completely forgot. It's getting inserted in. So basically, a rework, or like a buff for the lovers, because I've heard they've had a big issue, is the lovers will have an, like the Soulbound himself will have an ability, so one use ability once he's picked his lover. So you can either use this at night, which will give you both the Guardian protection that night. So either you die, you'll both get saved, but you'll be outed as lovers because the Guardian will know they didn't protect you. Or you can use this in the day when your teammate is down or you are down, and it will revive you. You'll both be like turbulence, essentially, somewhere random map, but together. So you'll both be somewhere random, like turbulence together. But obviously outshoots lovers because you both just teleport away while down. So it kind of gives them, like, it will out you, but it gives you a last line defense, which is obviously better than just dying. And this ability doesn't work during showdown. So yeah, essentially giving others just kind of like the benefit they have 2 people, so they can use that. I think that would be kind of cool. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of all these. And I guess I'll see you in the next one. It's kind of a long chatty video, but yeah, I want to see your guys' thoughts. Goodbye.